Okay, hi, Missy. Good. I'm just going to call the meeting to order. I hope the machine's a little early. It's 6 o'clock. And I'm calling the regular commission meeting to order. We have at the table Ellen, Brendan, Winnie, and Don, and myself. And we have several people that are on the commission that are calling in. We just heard from Missy. Is Ryan, are you there?
Yep, Ryan Lee's here.
Okay, Ryan's there. Sarah
I'm here, Bob. Tim.
Oh, Tim Gavin is here. Okay, good. And because I don't think Sarah can make it because of a business commitment, but Sarah, are you there? No, she probably couldn't even get on the phone. She said. Okay, so I think that's the attendance, Mary Ellen, for the commission. And the first thing to do is we're going to look at the previous meeting's minutes on 3/2/23, our last month's meeting. Everyone has read the minutes. Anyone have any comments or suggestions or additions or subtractions? It looked okay to me.
Looked okay to me, too.
Okay. Someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes from March 2nd?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from
Second?
Second.
Yeah. Okay, all in favor of approving, say aye, please.
Aye.
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 Okay. Okay. Anyone opposed? No. Anyone abstain? No. Okay. And we'll move on. The next thing on the agenda is we're going to talk about the PRC subcommittee that we brought up at the last meeting for town enhancements at Haynes Park. Okay, since so many of the commissioners were calling in, this afternoon I created, along with the help of Don and Winnie, a draft for review of the creation of the temporary Parks and Recreation Commission PRC subcommittee. I hope everyone got a chance to read it. We're just going to go over it and then maybe make a motion, a further motion to develop this. First of all, the name of the committee is the Haynes Park Enhancement Subcommittee, HPEC. The charge is to develop a prioritized list of recommendations with suggested timings to PRC or using donated funds for the beautification and enhancement of Haynes Park. The recommendations are to include, but are not limited to, the purchasing and installation of new ADA-accessible playground equipment, additional landscaping, and whether to retain any funds for future enhancements. But, of course, anything else that may be suggested by the committee will be brought to the PRC for our approval. Okay, the working process goes that we want to hold FOI-compliant meetings, meaning posted agendas and minutes, invite input from the Old Lyme community, park users, town staff, and officials, and local expert volunteers. It's to strive to meet monthly with additional meetings scheduled as needed. And this committee, we should be able to get enough suggestions within the next 5 or 6 months, I believe, so that we can then follow through with anything that was suggested either in the fall or next spring, if we can't just get it done before the end of the year. And of course, if suggestions are made before that, we can address those. Okay, we talked about having 5 full-time members. Now, in speaking to Don and Winnie, they helped with discussing what do we want to do here. Don, you pointed out it's really the busiest time for you guys with all the summer programs. So you want to speak about?
Well, the springtime and summertime by far is our busiest seasons, and that's why we felt that Winnie and I could be ad hoc members and contribute to everything, but the committee should be made up of 5 other people.
Yeah, 5, volunteers. Yeah, and so your commitment would be that if the committee wanted you to come to a meeting, one of you guys could make it, depending on your schedules. But we do realize, boy, everything's gonna take off now, especially with the weather taking off, that things will be very busy in Park and Rec. So, anyway, and in discussing with Don and Winnie, who might be valuable volunteers to have on this committee, we came up with Sarah, who's not here, as a PRC member to be the chair of the committee. Mary Ellen volunteered to be secretary and vice chair, because we're going to need a secretary to make sure we have agenda and minutes. And so we're very happy that you volunteered to do that. The non-PRC members, Phil Parchik, who was the former facilities director with extensive knowledge of Haynes Park, and he was the former Haynes Park Bathroom Committee chair, we felt would be a good person to have on it, because Tom Meyer is also just overwhelmed with his work with the current facilities director and IT person. The second one that we thought would be a good non-PRC member volunteer, Terry Lewis, who's the co-chair of the Harbor Management Commission and former co-chair of the Town Woods Playground Committee, which was, can you believe it? That was about over 15 years ago. So anyway, because we also want to talk about putting some limited playground equipment out at Haynes Park. And the last person was Greg Hack, who was an organizer and contributed to the Haynes Park Fundraising Committee, and he was the former president of the Old Lyme Rowing Association. And as Don mentioned about ad hoc members, we have Don Bugby as the Park and Rec Director, Winnie Edmond as the Park and Recreation Assistant Director, and Tom Meyer of the Old Lyme Facilities and IT Director. And as I said, they would, if needed, they would come to a meeting to participate in it to help the committee out if needed. Okay, and this is, today's April 6th, 2022. The duration of this committee would last approximately 6 months, with final recommendations anticipated by the fourth quarter. And this was based on the motion that we had at the March 2nd meeting to form a subcommittee which would report to PRC to study beautification and enhancement issues for Haynes Park. At a minimum, a representative from PRC, the HP Fundraising Committee, the Town Facilities Director, a member from Harbor Management Commission, and Don Bugby should be on the committee. Well, as I said, after talking to Don and Winnie about all the things they have to do now, we felt in the spirit of that motion that this would be a good start for this committee. Any commissioners have any comments about it?
I don't.
No. Everyone, because everyone's, well, not everyone, all we're going to be on the phone. I sent this around because they wouldn't be here to...
Anybody that's on the phone have any?
Yeah, anybody on the phone have any comments or suggestions?
Nope.
Looks good to me.
Looks good, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so, if everyone is okay with this proposal, I think we should make a revised motion to update what was proposed at the March 2nd PRC meeting. Huh? What? Oh, go ahead, Martha.
I would like to ask if I could be an ex officio, means I'm a non-voting member.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, sure. If you want to attend, sure. Yeah, we can add that. So not to be ad hoc member, or be like or you want to be called ex officio, Martha?
Ex officio.
Okay.
Because anything you have to bring forward, you have to go to Board of Selectmen, so I can't vote at your meeting, but like I am for button ball or ARPA, whatever, I can.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
Voice, but I can't.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, okay, we could add Martha. Would any commissioners like to? We'll amend what we had.
So she's going to be added as an ad hoc member?
No, ex officio.
Okay.
And I think that's good because that's the way the selectmen will get
I'll be able to
update.
Our meeting.
Yeah,
On what's going on.
yeah,
And John doesn't have to go to those meetings.
The suggestions should come from the committee. Now, this shouldn't be a whole lot of work, just to meet with people in the public and all to get ideas and bring those ideas, and then we could help out with looking up what it costs for picnic tables or whatever. So a lot of that we're willing to do too. So somehow, we'll get all this done to make sure that the park is the best it can be. It's such a beautiful park already. Let's make it even more beautiful. So, okay. So, anybody else on the commission have any comments about that? What we've gone over so far? Okay. So, I proposed I'm going to read it, a revised motion. And we'll put that on too. 6:03. Okay. And now listen, everyone, listen up here. You want to take because you might have the copy, and we'll of course change this or modify it in any way that the commissioners would like to do it. A motion to form a temporary 5-person PRC subcommittee to study using donated funds for the beautification and enhancement of Haynes Park with the following membership: Sarah Van Fleet, Chair; Mary Ellen Garbarino, Vice Chair; non-PRC volunteers Bill Parchik, Terry Lewis, and Greg Hack; and as ad hoc member, as an ex officio member, Martha Shoemaker, and ad hoc members a part of the town staff of Don Bugby, Parks and Rec Director; Winnie Edmond, Parks and Recreation Assistant Director; and Tom Meyer, Old Line Facilities and IT Director. Comments or suggestions to move a motion? Then I just...
Motion to approve.
Okay. Would someone... Second? Okay. Any more discussion? Okay. So all those in favor, please speak up.
Aye.
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 Okay. Anyone opposed? No. Anyone abstain? No. Okay. All right. So that's done, and I think that this will be very good to get more community members rather than just us involved in the decisions out there, and bring them to the Park and Rec, and we'll discuss them, and I'm sure there'll be lots of good ideas that comes out of this. Okay, the next part is the update of the PRC programs and facilities. Don?
Okay, first of all program registrations are now being done through Rec Desk. It's required for all our programs, and registration for all our Parks and Rec spring and summer activities opened on April 3rd.
Second that motion.
So I'll go through the programs we got going and the ones we're going to have. Adult volleyball, the winter sessions were completed March 16th. There were approximately 26 participants on average. We will not have spring sessions with volleyball. Adult basketball, the winter sessions were completed March 29th. There are 15 to 20 participants on average. Spring sessions will be at Lima Lime High School gym. Started Wednesday, April 5th through May 31st, and it's on Sunday mornings, started April 2nd through May 28th. Zumba fitness sessions, the winter sessions were completed March 7th. There were 10 participants on average. The spring sessions will run for 8 weeks on Tuesdays from April 18th to June 6th from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Lima Lime Middle School cafeteria. The fee for the 8 sessions is $70 with a $10 drop-in fee. And there was one night, to the Monday, May 15th. Pilates sessions. The initial sessions for this new program were completed April 5th. There were 6 participants on average. The spring sessions will run for 8 weeks, April 19th through June 7th. On Wednesdays from 3:45 to 4:45 p.m. at the Miles Creek School Media Center. The fee for the 8 sessions is $80 with a $17 drop-in fee. New program, women's basketball, will run on Thursdays, April 20th through June 8th, from 7 to 8:30 at the high school gym. Program is free for Lima Lime residents, and there's a $25 fee for non-residents. We're starting up a new co-ed adult softball program to run on Sundays, May 7th through June 25th, from 4 to 6:30 p.m. at Townwoods Park. Again, the program is free for Lima Lime residents and $25 fee for non-residents. Our summer day camp is scheduled to run June 26th through August 4th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., held primarily at the high school. Camp is open to Lima Lime residents entering kindergarten in the fall through grade 6. Fees for the 6-week camp are $300 for a child, $150 for the second child, and $100 for each additional child. Our after-camp programs during the same time as the day camp, June 26th through August 4th, run from 2 to 4 p.m. at the high school with a $50 per child fee for each week. Our boys basketball camp is open for grades 4 through 9 boys, scheduled to run June 19th through the 23rd, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lima Lime Middle School gym. Fees $130 per child. We have a new camp, girls volleyball camp, scheduled to run June 26th through June 30th from 8 to 11 at the middle school gym. Also, the fee is $130 per child. We have 2 community athletic solutions soccer camps scheduled. These are open for boys and girls ages 3 through 14 and will be held at Townwoods Park. One is July 10th through the 14th, and second one is July 31st through August 4th. Fees and groupings are as follows. Ages 3 and 4-year-old kids, this is Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. The fee is $90. Ages 4 through 6, 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon for $105, and the full session 9 to 12 noon for ages 6 through 14 is $140. Our summer staff. Summer staff hiring is in process and expected to be completed by early May. Applications are currently being accepted and returning staff is being determined. And we have a certification class for lifeguard candidates that has been arranged to take place at East Lyme Aquatic Center next week for those who want to become lifeguards. Updates will follow on all that summer staffing. Parks and Rec facilities. The water has been turned on at Cross Lane, Haynes Park, and Townwoods Park. All areas have been initially cleaned by Blackburn Cleaners, and a maintenance schedule has been determined. Cross Lane is open and used by Lima Lime Little League. We are waiting for satisfactory water test results at Haynes Park and Townwoods Park before we can open these facilities to the public for the season. Results are expected to take place soon. Haynes Park is in use by the rowers on a daily basis. Townwoods Park fields are open and used by Connecticut River Lacrosse Club. Lacrosse goals are out and the fields are expected to be lined shortly, hopefully by this weekend. Volunteers from Lima Lime Little League have been cleaning up and working on the baseball and softball fields at Cross Lane and Townwoods Park. General cleanup, mulching, aerating, and overseeding at Townwoods Park has been done by our contracted maintainer, Dan Jones Landscaping. O-Line Public Works has started their initial spring cleanup processes at all the facilities. White Sand Beach has been recently regraded after storms and sand removed from the gazebo and parking lot. The final sweeping of the parking lot and restriping of the spaces will take place as soon as that's done. White Sand Beach water is expected to be on by May 1st. Bathroom cleanup and a regular schedule of opening and closing will be determined. I had a meeting with the president of the Lowline Rowing Association at Haynes Park on Tuesday, April 4th, to discuss dock locations at Haynes Park. It was confirmed that one dock has to be moved slightly so it won't interfere with swim line installation. A meeting was held at White Sand Beach on Monday, April 3rd, to review and determine a proper location for a handicap mat to be purchased and installed at the beach. The mat will be placed on the east side of the beach and will go from the parking lot towards the water and the handicapped parking spaces in that lot will be reconfigured to accommodate this installation. And that's it.
Quite a lot. Okay, any commissioners have any comments or suggestions? Very thank you, Don and Winnie, for the extensive programs that are going to be offered to the community.
New programs, too.
New, yeah, some of them are new.
Women's basketball. Saw that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
I know, I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one question. I know we talked about for the lifeguards. I may have missed it. Were there any way to get swim lessons just for regular kids? Or is that, did you?
Not yet.
Did you? Yeah, that hasn't developed yet.
No.
Okay. Because that would be great if.
Yeah, have to find a place to do it.
It's a tough place. It's tough to do to find a place. Haynes Park, we run into problems with water testing periodically. White Sand Beach is crowded, and you have the tides and all that stuff to deal with.
Yeah. Well, it'd be great if you could find a pool facility somewhere to have.
You put one in, Bob.
Yeah, sure. No, when I went down to New Jersey for 3 years, we had a pool. I said a pool and a spa and all, and I said I would never ever get a pool. We had people taking care of the pool. I didn't want to have to do that because luckily it was only a little over 2 years.
Mary Ellen will tell you all about that.
And I know people that have pools, sometimes they don't realize exactly how much they have to do. So we settled on just putting a spa deck.
My bad.
Which we use more than the pool, especially since it's very short pool season. But anyway, yeah, but if that's possible, that would be great if we could add that. And if we can't, we'll just, we'll try again, I guess. Okay, anybody else? Commissioners on the phone, would you like to make any comments about the programs that Don described?
I think they all look great. And I think, the registration process seemed to go really well, so that was nice.
Oh, okay, thank you, Missy. Anyone else? Ryan or Tim?
Nope, just grateful. Yep,
Okay.
just grateful for the hard work and good programming.
Okay. So, hearing no other comments, we'll move on to the next thing, the old business of the lacrosse fields, practices, and games. Don, I know you've been doing various things about this.
Okay. I received the lacrosse schedule early this week. I was going through it. I haven't quite finished it, but just off the top of my head, it appears that there are a lot more Old Saybrook involvement with the practice schedule for sure, and the game schedule as well. I just looked at. Probably shouldn't talk about it until I finish it. But I was just looking at April, and it appears that there's a lot more activity in Saybrook. There are limited activity through the Tri-Town area, Deep River, Chester, and Essex. So as we talked about previously, on Monday, this past Monday, I wrote an email to the superintendent of Region 4, which is the Tri-Town area, the principal of Valley Regional High School, the principal of John Winthrop Middle School, and the athletic director who is in charge of the high school, and I'm assuming the middle school as well. I'd just like to read that. I said, "Good morning all. I'm not sure who to contact about this, so I included you all. I'm inquiring how one goes about requesting the use of fields in your school district, in particularly private clubs like the soccer club, the lacrosse club, and Little League. These clubs request and are granted use of our fields in Old Lyme. The main point of the discussion will be about the Connecticut River Lacrosse Club's seemingly inability to use fields in your district. We are repeatedly told by their representatives that fields are unavailable for them at John Winthrop and at Valley Regional High School. Approximately a third of their registrations each year reside in the Tri-Town area, and our Parks and Recreation Commission has tasked me to look into the situation. I am told that the soccer club is allowed to use fields at Johnson. I have no information about Little League usage. Our commission is only looking to assure a fair share of facility uses between our towns for these types of clubs that have participants from multiple towns. We're trying to understand the situation from all points of view. I can briefly meet the representative to discuss this soon. It would be greatly appreciated. For me, it cannot be arranged to phone calls suffice. Please let me know what might work for you. And I got a reply this morning from the athletic director who said, thanks for reaching out. Organizations interested in using Region 4 facilities will complete our facility use form and explain how to get it. Go then. The rules on district staff to ensure that there is no disruption to school programming. I will be in touch after April vacation to discuss in greater detail. So I'm not getting an answer until after April vacation, apparently.
So at least we got a response, which is,
So there's a new athletic director there, and so I'll be meeting with him after April vacation, apparently. So maybe get an answer as to why the Valley Regional area can't supply fields to their club participants.
yeah, because, Ryan, you out there, you're with the soccer people and clubs, and you guys do have games out at John Winthrop, right? Or practices and... Ryan?
Yeah, we have played. Yeah, we have played against Valley Soccer Club at John Winthrop before. I just have to say that we missed. I don't know if the same was for Tim and Missy, but I couldn't hear half of what Don just said. The phone thing got all staticky, unfortunately. Not asking you to reread it, Don. I'm sure we can catch up later.
Oh, I think, Don, the easiest thing...
I can email it to everybody.
Or just attach it to the minutes.
I'll attach it.
Yeah, attach it to the minutes, okay?
Perfect.
But yeah, I think that would be the easiest thing to do. Anybody else? Any comments?
Just one comment.
Yeah.
It's encouraging about hearing about Old Sabre. And Don, thank you for taking this extra step, because I think Tim brought it up last time, and it's just worth noting now, and then we can move on. This is a recurring problem that comes up every year, certainly since I've been on the commission.
Yes.
And there are two factions that make compelling arguments for each other, but they sometimes are diametrically opposed in their philosophies as to how these fields should be used. So by extension, even though Don is taking these great steps of reaching out to the other towns, et cetera, I think something that needs to be addressed ultimately is are the rules of town woods, and how those are, well, if there are any,
Yeah.
and how those are supposed to be interpreted moving forward. I think that Tim had brought up something relative to that, and I just think we don't have to address it now. That's a whole other animal, but something that I, as a commissioner, am aware of.
Yeah, I know on the, Katie's here, on the old website, the rules for Town Woods Park and who participates was on it, and I believe it made it to the new website, but the same policies for Haynes, well, not the same policies, but the policies for Haynes Park didn't quite make it on the first go-around. Is it on there now, Katie? Huh? I know Winnie and Katie were working together on that.
Yeah.
We'll qualify that and get back to you.
Okay, all right, yeah, but, yeah, because certain things got dropped, it seems.
There's one usage form for all of the,
Yes, yeah, because we have that, and we might want to refine it a little bit, Brendan.
Well, I was just, when our last hearing was coming up, and commissioners were receiving a lot of information from both sides,
Yes,
both parties were referencing, it's basically a sentence or two, that's it, relative to the town woods usage per season.
Yeah.
And I think that Tim had brought up that maybe there could be something, and I don't know if it's the commission that's responsible for that. Maybe it's town council. It might need to be. Something that just addresses this continuing issue that comes up every year, because that seems to not be clear enough.
I don't know what's not clear about what we put down the first time, although...
I think the difference now, the cause from cloudiness, is when we built Townwoods Park and made those rules, the lacrosse club was made up entirely of Lyme and O-Lyme kids, as the soccer club is.
Right.
So it was all just ours. And then at some point, obviously, the lacrosse club changed direction and started taking in kids from other areas.
I think it was because the numbers were
going down,
and they wanted to have like an A and a B team for each.
They did what they thought was best to make the club better.
Yes.
And so what this confusion I see now is some of them are thinking they're still going by the old, in the fall was soccer primarily, and the spring was lacrosse. That was decided.
Right.
Well, you know how that goes nowadays because you're playing sports in all seasons. And some of the cloudiness, in my opinion, now is from the soccer club saying, why do I give up space in the springtime to lacrosse kids from other towns?
Well, maybe we should put that on the agenda next time, for next month to discuss.
Is that the type of stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, Don hit the nail. He said it better than I could. It's just something that, it's a recurring theme. And like I said before, I'm not making any stance for or against lacrosse or soccer. Both sides have compelling arguments as to who, and I'm very thankful. There were a lot of people, Don included, who were instrumental in them coming to an agreement.
Yes.
Prior to coming here, which probably would have made it infinitely worse.
Yes.
So, I'm thankful for that, but I don't know if that's sustainable moving forward. That's all.
Okay. Well, why don't we put that on the agenda to discuss that further at the next meeting, and I think we can just tweak what we already have out there to make it a little more obvious as to what our view. I know with Townwoods Park, because it was a steep grant was involved, several steep grants. Lyme had one, we had one, that it has to be open to the public. It can't just be an old Lyme park or a Lyme park. So we were working, it's going to be 19 years, guys, since Townwoods Park opened, and really it's only until recently we've been having more problems with this, right?
Seems like it.
Yeah. So hopefully we can resolve that.
Very good.
Somebody's talking back there. No, okay. All right. Any new business to discuss? We don't really have any new business that I know of. I will make one comment that I forgot to probably put down under old business, is that I've been updating the commission on the status of security cameras out at Haynes Park. And the first step that Tom Meyer did was contact Comcast, and that is now complete, that they've wired the restroom building out so that the next step would be a modem. Well, of course, we don't want to put a modem in until we actually have a security cameras and computer or whatever to run it, because we don't want to be paying a monthly fee for something we're not really using. And I spoke to Tim about that, and he, of course, agrees. The next step is I told Tim I'd like to see maybe the next agenda some sort of at least starting to address that. I know it's been addressed, Martha, as you said, for town-wide security, so to speak, and hopefully we can find out if we can get it accelerated a little bit at Haynes Park, because there has been over the years vandalism occurrences, and to get at least a couple cameras out there would sweep the area, and maybe some signs saying, this area is under video surveillance or whatever, might help to cut down on that, especially come the fall when we get the delivery of the pavilion. So anyway, anybody else for new business? No? No, okay. Correspondence. Don is going to attach the correspondence to the people up at the Tri-Town area, the superintendent on down. We got a correspondence, or at least I did, from Candace Fuchs on March 4th that I responded that we were away, and I finally read my email when I got back on the 7th, and I had a reply for her. I'd like this to be attached to the minutes, also this correspondence, okay? And also, you all got it, like, on your email accounts, so. And the other one was from Paul Gianquinto, and he further explained what his position was, that he spoke out at the last meeting, and I sent that to everyone also. Could you please attach that one also? And, yeah, okay, and you know which one I'm talking, this one. And I did check with our building inspector, because one of Mr. Gianquinto's questions was if there was a permit for the sidewalk that we put in to lead to the boathouse, and Mark from the building department told me it was not necessary it's not required. And I was also told that by the contractor and Phil Parchik back in the day when we were talking about doing that. So to answer his question about that, I don't.
Did you answer him?
I didn't put, no, I didn't, I just submitted this. I don't know how can we include that with a building permit was not necessary according to the building inspector, Mark Whalum. Yeah, that was not required for that at all. Okay, we get to the next part, public comment. So anyone sitting here like to comment or first? Okay, no? Hearing nothing from people present. And by the way, we have the guests that are present here.
I do, except for, I didn't know. You're Katie
Balaka.
Okay.
And Katie also was the co-chair with Terry when they did the volunteer playground out at Townwoods Park. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that was a tremendous success. But then the kids grow up and we don't go out there. Only your grandkids come, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Out in telephone land, anybody want to make any comment that's not on the Park and Rec Commission? If there's anyone listening, no. Hearing none, I would like a motion from someone to adjourn, please.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor? Oh, no more discussion on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye. Okay. Anyone opposed? Except maybe that kid that's in the background. No one's opposed. And anyone abstain? No. Okay. Well, thank you all for attending, and we'll see you next month.